Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Baking Diva. Most of you that follow me on a regular basis know that I like to get in character whenever I can for my baking videos. So I guess you figured out by now, this is not an Easter video. No, it isn't. With approximately, counting today, 50 days left until Christmas, I thought it would be a good idea to get started on baking my cookies, because all cookies can be frozen, and a little later on I'll tell you the best way to do that. So this is going to be my 6-part series on how to bake Christmas cookies. For 6 weeks, 6 consecutive weeks, I'm going to demonstrate for you some of my favorite Christmas cookies that I make every year. So just to show you a little prop I have, it's so cute. I bought it a couple of years ago, and every year I put it out on my kitchen island, and my grandkids, especially the little guy, Lucas, who's 4 1/2, he gets a big kick out of it. It's this little bear, and she tells the kids how to make gingerbread cookies. Now, we're not making gingerbread cookies today, but I wanted to show you a little of this. It's adorable. Press the little foot, has cookie cutters here, has a spoon it came with, and a chef's hat. And listen to this thing. Okay, let me find the foot to press.
Hi, today I'm going to show you how to make my favorite gingerbread cookies. Before we get started, make sure you have parental supervision when making your cookies, because safety should always come first. Let's get started. First, in a large bowl, mix together the dry butterscotch pudding mix, butter, and brown sugar.
Isn't that adorable? She tells the entire story and recipe on how to make the cookies. It came with little Christmas cookie cutters. She talks about the kids having parental supervision, and she goes through it step by step. It's really cute. So I just wanted to show you that. I'm going to put it to the side because we don't need it here for this recipe. Okay, so we're going to get started here. Today we're going to make chocolate dipped shortbread cookies. These cookies are so delicious and so easy, and that's why I thought I would start out my series doing those. So many of you say, I can't bake. You can bake. You can bake. All you have to do is follow the directions, and if that's hard for you, watch my video. Which reminds me, I have so many new subscribers now that as soon as I get about 30 more, we're going to have another free giveaway. So talk to your friends and get them to subscribe to my channel. All right? So let's get started. I have my handy dandy KitchenAid mixer here. If you don't have a KitchenAid mixer, that's fine. You need an electric mixer, but you can use one of your hand mixers. That's not a problem, but you do need a mixer. Okay, now this recipe calls for 2 cups of flour. So I'm going to put the 2 cups of flour in my bowl. I've already pre-measured these. Also, we need a 1/2 cup of softened butter. I've already softened my butter. Whoa, so let me just get that in there. Okay. Now this recipe, depending on the size of the cookies, and you'll see that in a little while, makes about 4 to 4 1/2 dozen cookies. Now, I always double the recipe because I make a variety of cookies for Christmas, and I need a lot of them. But this is a single recipe we're doing now. So we have the 2 cups of flour, the 1/2 cup of butter, and I'm now going to put in a 1/2 cup of confectioner's sugar. Okay, so I almost forgot to tell you, I preheated my oven to 350 degrees. And when we get to the part where we have to bake it, you'll be using an ungreased cookie sheet. Okay, so we have the flour, the sugar, and the butter. And I'm going to add some vanilla. This will be 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. I love vanilla. I sometimes get a little heavy-handed with it, but it's okay. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, I'm going to put my beater on. Raise the bowl. I'm going to start out slowly on this, and I'm going to incorporate my ingredients. So I'm going to mix this until it's all well blended. Doesn't take long. You like my Christmas apron? Has little Christmas cookies on it. My earrings. My Santa hat. I'm all set. As it starts to mix, the dough starts to crumble. It almost looks like in the beginning when you're making a pie crust, but then it all starts to form in a ball. And it's almost done, so you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. Okay. I'm going to take the beater off, and I'm going to tilt the bowl and show you what the dough looks like. Now, these are shortbread cookies, but they are chocolate chip shortbread cookies. You use the little mini chocolate chip morsels. So, I'm going to take this little ball of dough out, and it couldn't be any easier. This is what your cookie dough is going to look like. But I'm putting it back in the bowl because I want to add to that the Nestle, I use Nestle's, the Nestle's mini chocolate morsels. So I'm going to put 2 cups of the morsel. Actually, I'm not going to put 2 cups in. I'm going to put 1 cup, of the mini morsels in. And I'm going to blend it in with the dough. The recipe calls for a 12-ounce package of the mini morsels, but you're only using 1 cup to mix in with the dough, and then the rest of the morsels I'll show you later what we're going to do with them. So isn't this easy so far? I think so. And I make a lot of cookies every year, and these and a couple of others are my grandson's favorite. And they're picky. So if they like them, trust me, you'll like them. Okay, I'm incorporating the morsels in with the dough. I'm going to show you what this looks like. I washed my hands, so we're good. So this is what the dough is going to look like once you incorporate the mini chocolate morsels in there. Okay? So basically, we're done with the mixing. I'm going to take my cookie sheet and this is an ungreased cookie sheet, but we're not putting it in the oven right now. Right now, I'm just going to put the cookies on there. So you're going to take a small amount of the cookie and you're going to roll it. You're going to roll it into a log, maybe close to the size of your ring finger. They're not big cookies. It's going to look like this. And just lay it down there for now. So I'm going to continue rolling these. And as soon as I'm done and I have them all rolled, I'll come back and I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay? Bye! I'm back. I rolled all the cookies dough into logs, and I have it on my cookie sheet, ready to go into the oven. On the cookie sheet I have about 2 dozen of these. So you'll notice that they're all just, they're not too thin and they're not too thick. They're all just in the form of like a small log. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put them in the oven. That's the 350 degree oven for 10 to 12 minutes. Now keep your eye on them the first time you make them because everybody's ovens are different. These cookies are not going to get brown. You're not going to be looking for brown on the top of the cookies. These are shortbread cookies. So once I take them out of the oven and put them on my cooling rack and I finish rolling out the other batch, I'll be back and I'll show you what we do for the final step. Okay, bye. Okay, I baked the cookies. So let's take a look at what the cookies look like after they've come out of the oven. As you'll notice, the cookies are not real brown on the top and they are slightly browned on the bottom. That's what they're supposed to look like when they first come out of the oven. And you have to let them cool completely before you do anything else with them. Now I'm going to show you here, this is the remainder of the mini chocolate chip morsels that I had left over after I added the cup to the batter. What I'm going to do to this is I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil to the chocolate chip morsels. I'm going to stir that up. Now, you can melt this a couple of different ways. Actually, the recipe will tell you to put this bowl over hot, not boiling water, and stir it until the chocolate morsels melt. I'm going to put mine in the oven on very short intervals, in the microwave, not the oven, of maybe 15 seconds, and then I'll test it again, and I'll just kind of do like 10-second intervals to melt it. So let me head over to the microwave, and let me put this little bowl in. I'm going to put it on 15 seconds, and let's see what happens. If you have a double boiler, you can do that, but there's no point in setting up a whole double boiler for just that little bit of chocolate morsels. So let's see how this goes. Alright, I did it on 15 seconds, and you can see they're not melted yet, but they are melting. So let's try it on another 15 seconds. Just be careful never to get any water in your chocolate, and never burn it because it burns quickly and it's not salvageable. So let me do another 15 seconds and we'll see what it looks like. These cookies are delicious. You're going to see what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the cooled cookie and I'm just going to dip half of it into the melted chocolate, and then you'll see I'm going to decorate it. Coming along, so that's a total of 30 seconds, and it is melting. I didn't want to do this ahead because I wanted to show you, what I was talking about, and it is melting. Okay, let's try that another 15 seconds. I'm cautious because I don't want to burn the chocolate. Those shortbread cookies smell so good. I did get 4 dozen cookies out of that batch of dough. You can make them a little smaller if you want, and you can get more. I tasted one, and the cameraman over there tasted one. What'd you think, Tim?
Excellent day.
Okay, this is coming good. Now see here? It's melting. Not done yet, but it's doing just what it's supposed to do. So let me get a little muscle in there, which I don't have. Not quite done. Got to be smooth. So I'm going to go another 15 seconds. So that would be equaling what, cameraman?
A minute.
1 minute. So let me see if 1 minute does the trick. And everybody's microwave is different. That's why I'd rather you be cautious and do these little intervals, because some microwaves are more powerful than others. This is looking good. You see what it looks like when it melts? Make sure it's nice and smooth. The vegetable oil helps it to melt. There we go. Okay. Now this is what I'm going to do next. What you're going to do is, I happen to have a lot of little decorations here. This is red, white, and green little Christmas sprinkles. You can use nuts. I happen to have chopped pecans. You can use walnuts or any nuts that you like. This is another variety of Christmas sprinkles. It happens to have little snowflakes in it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your cookie like this. You're only going to dip half of your cookie into the melted chocolate. You can use your spoon to assist you if you want. It's going to look like this. Let me move this over here for now. Let the chocolate drip off it, and then you're going to dip it into your sprinkles. Isn't that pretty? And then I'm going to put it right down on the cookie sheet. Once I get these all done, they're going to go in the refrigerator for about an hour. That will harden the chocolate. So let me do a couple more for you, just so you can get a better feel of what they look like. I'll put this one in some chopped nuts. You see that? And you can put them in anything you want. This just happens to be what I'm putting mine in. Do another one here. These cookies really are delicious. So I'm going to finish decorating them. Put a little snowflake on that one. Cute. There you go. Alright, so I'm going to finish decorating all the baked cookies. I'm going to put them in the refrigerator for an hour. And then I'll take them out and I'll show you a platter with the finished product. Now, as I mentioned earlier, these cookies can be frozen. And when you freeze them, what I like to do is I take like a Tupperware container or a lock and lock or any type of container like that, something that's a little sturdy. Make sure that the chocolate is hardened on here. Layer your cookies in a single layer. Put a piece of wax paper on the top before you layer the next layer. And then they're in an airtight container in the refrigerator and in the freezer, and I've had them in there for like 3 months. So we only have, what, approximately 6 or 7 weeks till Christmas. So these will be just fine. So I'll be back shortly to show you what they all look like decorated and to have a little taste. So see ya! The cookies are all finished and decorated. Here I'm going to present to you the finished products. Aren't they beautiful? Would you like to taste one, cameraman?
Absolutely.
Would you like one with nuts or sprinkles?
Sprinkles, please.
All right, here you go. Here's one for you. Let me know what you think.
Thank you.
I think I'm going to have one with the nuts on it.
Mmm. Perfect.
Mmm. Good. They might not make it till Christmas. Very good. Okay, so if you like this recipe, give me a thumbs up on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, because then you'll get a notice that'll tell you when my new videos are up. So you shouldn't have any trouble making these. Next week, we'll have part 2 of my series on Christmas cookie baking. And the only thing I can say in ending is, if worse comes to worse, and you have trouble making these cookies, which you shouldn't, but if you do, you can blame it on the elves. Toodles!